everybody, good morning and happy Wednesday. Happy FOMC day. What a crazy day today was. It was kind of weird. It is FOMC day after all. But we're going to walk through all of these setups here from this morning. I've got a lot of really good stuff to touch on. IRBT was awesome. It was from last night's watch list. If you keep up with my top 3 stock watch list every night, this was the top stock for today on IRBT, and it made a massive move. Now, we caught it today out of market open. I'm going to run through everything that we did, everything that we caught, how I caught it, how I did it. That way you can do it too, step by step. And really today was kind of funky. I'm going to walk through it all here with you. And again, like I said, we have FOMC today. So a lot of people are on the sidelines waiting to see what that rate decision is going to be. And so volume was lacking out there today. So we had a couple of stuff out there. Leading gappers were ASPC, BBGI, and BBGI currently is up 310%. And so the issue was, though, there really wasn't much of a way to play this. Responsibly, mind you. And so this is up huge. It's one of those things where, sure, it's up a lot, but how did it actually get there? This thing has halted up probably 10, 15 times today. It's been nuts. And so unless you played it way down here before that first halt where you actually were tied off the 90 MA, there really wasn't anything you could do here. And so I missed this entry. I would have taken it. I missed it. It was from the pre-market watch list over in the free trial. And so it breaks out here. And I was going to take it, but by the time I saw it, it was too late and it got stuck up into a halt. Then it resumes way up into the highs and I'm just left practically chasing. And so it halts here and it's just halting. Look, boom. It's just halting literally 1, 2, 3. It's ridiculous. So I don't trade this today because of the halts, unfortunately. I really wanted to take it here off the 90 MA off this pullback. But again, it dips and rips. Literally, if you were watching this, it gave not even any more than 2 seconds here. I was looking for confirmation, and I was looking for that candle to pull back and retest off the 9 for that pullback entry, and it literally happened instantaneously with no chance for an entry. And it's actually halted again as we're talking about it. It's just a mess. So nothing I can do here, unfortunately. Same story with ASPC. Look at this. This thing was, again, a halty mess, literally. I mean, there's no way to play this. It sucks, but it's like you have to be aware of your surroundings and the environment you're trading in. It's just one of those that just sucked. And so really that just had us down to beat and IRBT. Now, beat is the only real gapper this morning that we had news on. Nothing else really had a significant press release. We did have news on beat this morning. So I was watching beat going into the bell, and I'll show you the game plan here on the pre-market watch list. I was watching it over 154, which was that pre-market high. And so I was watching it over the highs here, and as you can see, it comes into market open. It tries to get breaking out, and it just rejects off the open, and I just leave it alone, right? Because now we're backside. It's rejected off the highs. It has grabbed the liquidity on the top of that channel. It's done. For all practical purposes, it's done. So again, left this alone as well. But we had IRBT, and IRBT was from last night's watch list. It was the top stock. If you keep up my videos, like I said, last night it was that stock. And so the game plan last night, I'll show you on my charts here. The game plan was pretty dang awesome. Look at this. It doesn't get much prettier than this. And so the game plan was to watch it today over the 340s off these pullbacks this morning out of this past area of formed demand, which we grabbed from, again, previous week's trading day. Look right here. This past wick off the high, this area of supply becomes an area of demand, right? This becomes an area of demand where, again, we can look for those dips out of once it pivots, which it did here. And so, good grief, this move is just nuts and got the right move here as well. This is just beautiful. Perfection. And so, coming out of market open today, you had a pretty interesting setup. And so, let me pull my chart back up here. And so going into the open, again, I'm watching this here because as you can see here, we have our charts marked up here over 4 into the past area of supply. And so as this goes to gap up out of the bell, we have, again, a bit of a range here put in. So we have this lower high and this higher low. And what I notice here is this thing is getting really tight on that breakout spot here. So I sort of anticipate the breakout, get a little bit aggressive here, because it looked good. I had conviction here today because it was on last night's watch list, and thankfully that paid off. But I did miss one entry here that I'm a little bit frustrated over. And so I take the first play here. Again, look at this. It flushes. You put in this wick off the high on the potential reclaim. Then this next candle steps up and it reclaims off the 9 and flips back above again. And it pulls back and actually finds a buyer this time. And so as it finds a buyer there, I take the entry risking off this little green line, right? The 20 moving average, because that's where price is respected previously, right there beneath the 9. And so took it risking off the 20. And in doing so, is looking for the breakup through this previous high. And we got that. And I couldn't get an ad on this. And it put in place this big topping tail off the high. And that's where I ended up taking my full profit the first time. You can see here, I took my full profit off these highs. And As it rejected, if I only had runners left here, I sold the rest down full on this pullback, and I'm kicking myself over that still. I cut it because this big nasty candle off the high, it pulled back and tapped my stops, and so I was looking for a confirmed pullback here. After price had put in this next candle, I was about to take the entry, but I hesitated and I missed the entry. So this happened so quickly here. Very frustrating, to be honest, because it put in place a beautiful spot there for an entry opportunity for a little pivot out of this area of supply form from pre-market, as you can see right here. So it looked really good. But unfortunately missed out. So I would have loved to have taken that entry there, but nonetheless, you can see the first trade here was from 420 to about 440s, and I'm happy with that. So again, as you know, as price broke out of this pre-market trend, again, raised stop. I saw it grab off the high, took a majority out, and then I was out full in the pullback. Then price makes that big move higher, but I know that we have this big wick off the high that price sort of clears here in a strong way. So I'm able to look for a little bit of a pivot here. I take an entry off the pivot, the pullback, the retest this past high. Grab the pullback off the 90 MA, looking for the leg up higher. And again, I've captured that next leg here from 440s to 470s. And again, just a matter of trailing and using those levels we had on the watch list, which as you can see, we knew that we had room here today to about 470 and 5, which is what we respected here on the trades today as well. So as you can see here, 470 and 5, where did price respect? Well, look at that 470. As I saw price getting a little bit heavy off that 470 spot, went ahead and took my full exit up here as well. I was going to try to get some plays, see if we couldn't hold down to this past range low for the curl back up into those previous highs. As you can see, this here is break even all through here. Again, after the first two big wins here. The only one that I'm kind of frustrated about is, again, after this, nothing else was moving except for BBGI. So nothing else is moving. With FOMC today, I came in today already thinking, look, today's going to be probably a slow day. We got FOMC, as usual, typically is slow on FOMC days. And so I was just going and expecting that today. And so after IRBT, I really didn't see much else that I liked. I did try to take a bit of a trade on ENVB. I'm flat on it. It was frustrating. Look at this. And so I see this thing start to pull back off the 90 MA, and I got a horrible fill in the entry. Look at this. So I see it pivot here. First and foremost, pivots off this past wick high. And in hindsight, I wish I had taken it off this pullback, but you have these topping tails put in here, so I didn't take it. I left it alone. It was a little bit spready as well, so I wanted to see if it would confirm first if it was going to fake back out lower, because it looked a little bit heavy. But it put in place this higher low, as you can see here, and got kind of tight here off the highs. And so I was trying to take it for a pullback off the 90 MA to see if it could get squeezing up higher. As soon as I got a bad feel, I just took an instant exit. Thank God I did, because you can see here, what you've also got happening here, again, it puts in place this next wick off the high after my entry. It's just, no thanks. But I actually took a full exit here sooner because I just didn't like my fill, so sort of got lucky on that one. But regardless, I would have cut it early once we rejected off the high in the 1320s anyway. So it would have been either small green or a break-even trade. In this case, it was flat for me. So it is what it is. That's how the day sort of went. But IRBT, I am quite happy with. I wish we wasn't FOMC today, and I could have got more aggressive on this. But it is also a larger float name, 30 million share float. And so it is what it is. You know, played it quite well this morning, locked in some wins early. Broke the ice early, able to capture another green day. And of course, we start this week. Monday was a little bit slow. There really wasn't a whole lot to be had. We had iBio, which that was really all we had on Monday. Then you come in Tuesday, one of the best days we've had in weeks, trading NCLP or MPCL, whatever it was. And today, of course, IRBT was the big winner going into FOMC. So I'm very curious to see what that rate decision does. Of course, right now, I believe it's priced in about a 25 basis points. You know, so hopefully blow that out the water with a 50 basis point cut, and we can get things really going into the end of the year. So that's my hope. That's my expectation, at least. But I'm crossing my fingers and my toes. Make sure you do as well. But all that being said, that is my day today. Kind of a short day again with FOMC today. But hopefully you learn a thing or two. And of course, as always, make sure to subscribe for daily content just like this. And make sure to claim your 7-day free trial to get access to watch me trade live every single day in real time. You get my watch list, alerts, chat room access, scanners, news, journals, and so much more. And that being said, I'll catch you back tomorrow or over in that chat room. See you there.